It's really bad. I think we're back here. Have you got a picture there, Lettuce King?
No,
So
Me
I
either.
don't get a picture.
Me either.
everyone's gonna have to go.
But maybe the chats. Oh,
To a new chat.
I just get the chat, see?
I got an error.
Fix yours.
Oh.
You can fix your own there. Go to the new one on our channel there.
Nick's going to fix me.
Oh, I got something.
No, you don't have anything there. You have to go to the new stream.
Adam Bennett says, you're back. Yes, we are. We're trying to be back. Back with a new one. Welcome back, guys.
On the wrong.
Nice to be back.
You're on the wrong one. Okay, did you go to the new one?
No.
No, then you need to go to the new one.
Well, I've tried to get there. I think I'm there.
What's the lettuce?
They're on. You guys are on.
Carry on there, Lettuce King. There you
Take it, Lettuce King.
We're on there? All right.
Okay.
So my next project is not going to happen, Jeff. I am not building anymore. I'm just helping a friend with one at the moment. Little single axle 379, but that's it. No more.
Ryan says, Dave can't concentrate with the Lettuce King wearing his hat.
I gotta put it back on.
Isn't that the truth?
I missed my shirt already, my sweater.
Oh, I had to take off that stupid sweater and the hat. I was getting too hot.
I was, yeah.
SoCal says use sign language. That might get ugly. So we better stay away from that. Good idea, but...
Variable geometry turbos.
Oh, like on the...
Variable vane turbos?
Yeah, like...
I guess they do the job. You know, I'm kind of always the fancier...
I'm
things
skeptical
are-
of those.
Yeah, it's just more stuff to break, and it's more money to fix, and you know, yeah. What do you get when you mix two old truckers with technology?
A mess is what you got. Yeah, good point. But that's the problem.
They want to buy my hat, Adam Bennett.
You should give him that damn hat. I called the Lettuce King the other day, and we've got, everyone's got identicals, so he knew it was me. I said, ho ho ho, and the Lettuce King's response was, I love them all. Crack me right up. Man, that's unfortunate. Love that green 351 Pete you built that Dave did a video on. Yeah, the current truck. That's an awesome machine.
Yeah, I still have that, Jeff. Thanks. I'll be keeping that one till they bury me in it. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be going anywhere.
It's all wrapped up for the winter. My truck has been sitting. Here's SoCal. Been sitting idle since October 24th. You go back after Christmas, though, right, SoCal? But yeah, that's been a while. And God, you're down around Indiana somewhere, I think. Are you not now? Look like my picture moving. Captain Nice Guy. He says he's retired. What's he going to do to enjoy his retirement? Well, the plan is Arizona.
Yeah, that's the long term goal. Find a nice, quiet piece of sand with a cactus out in Yuma there somewhere, or quartzite, and just sit there and watch the lizards walk by.
We used to, like when we loaded out of Yuma, we'd pop up through Quartzsite a lot, so we got to know there was a lot of desert camping there, and the Lettuce King is kind of zeroed in on that area to set up his little not a little trailer. Is it a 53, that one, or 48? The race trailer.
48.
It's a 48.
Yeah, they're all 48s.
Yeah, so he's got it all gutted and made like an RV out of this race trailer, and he's going to live on it or in it in the desert. Cool plan, I think.
I just became an old person.
Dave, you can store your 379 in my shop if you want, free of charge. Jordan, love to do that. Where's your shop, man? I've kind of got mine all wrapped up for the winter now, but where's your shop, Jordan? But yeah, both of our trucks are kind of sitting out in the weather.
Yeah.
Lettuce King's got his wrapped with a tarp, and I hadn't even done that much. I pulled the batteries. Yuma, Arizona has a good Canadian community from what I hear. A lot of guys out of Alberta run down to that area of Arizona for the wintertime and sit down in there. A lot of Canadians out of Alberta. It's almost a straight shot down, huh?
We hate snow.
Yeah, we hate snow. Neither one of us likes snow. Here, Jeff wants to know what the first truck you ever drove was. Was the white, huh?
Yeah. You mean just first truck I ever drove, or the first truck I?
He said drove.
First truck I actually remember driving was I was working in a garage, and I put a clutch in it, and it was a. I want to think it was a. Sorry, Kathy. It was page 2. I slipped right out of me. I think it was a Brigadier or something like that, and it had a 6V53 in it, like just a screaming Detroit. And I remember rowing through the gears in that, thinking how cool that thing sounded. I think that's the first truck I ever drove, unless one of my dad's, water trucks or something like that. But I have a hard time remembering what I did yesterday. So
yeah, me too. Now this is interesting. Grilled Mortal, who we know to be a local,
yeah,
knows all about the old plane storage place out by Tucson.
Yeah,
so he's done some trucking
for sure. Yeah,
he's done some trucking and
plus,
all about that.
Plus, there's the one in Mojave too.
Yeah, there's another one out in Mojave there.
Yeah, but the one in Tucson for sure.
Yeah, and they're both huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at that. So he's been around. He's done some trucking. We learn a little more about Grilled Mortal every time.
We're gonna get demerit points.
Yeah, you think that's funny.
Yeah, Kathy doesn't think it's so funny, but yeah, she says we can't be using.
You won't be thinking it's funny either if they're because of you.
Yeah, I guess I'm in trouble. Not you, you're the guest, but I'm in trouble. Jordan's warehouse for parking my truck is in South Dakota. Little far to drive, but appreciate the offer, Jordan.
What should Bergen do if he waits at a customer for 5 to 8 hours?
Are you a company driver? Because if I was a company driver, I'd be screaming my brains out, making sure I was on the clock. That's for sure. That's kind of a personal call, Bergen. If you need the rest and you own the truck, it's not bad to settle in for a little bit, nap while you wait for them. But if I was a company guy, I'd want to make sure I was by the hour for that deal. Looking at buying some land to store RVs and trucks here in Tennessee. Not enough parking. Land off the interstate seems to be at a shortage almost everywhere until you get west of the Mississippi, huh?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Depending, where you want to go, but
yeah. You wouldn't think it would be that tough to put in a bunch more rest areas. Like big parking lots.
they should have abundance of them.
They should have.
Abundance of them. Do you miss the job itself?
I miss the driving, and I miss going to California. I miss a whole bunch of that stuff, but the rules and the politics and all the scales and all that stuff. I don't miss any of that.
I miss 1985.
Yeah, I miss 1985. Yeah,
Yeah, that's bad.
yeah, about right. But I was counting there back a little while ago, and by the time when I cross the border, I'm 200 miles from home, and there are 5 scales in between me and Michigan. 5 scales in a 200-mile stretch. Like, that's just crap.
It's the communist province of Ontario.
Yeah,
It's nowhere like it. Like
Yeah.
California.
yeah.
No.
You know what? And everybody fears California.
Yep, no,
I
this
always
place
had more
is
trouble
way
in
worse,
Ontario.
for
Yeah.
sure. John Bergen's an owner-operator, Dave.
Yeah, putting in that kind of time for free, I'd be hitting the shipper up for some dough there, because that's not right. Yeah, either whoever you answer to, the carrier or the shipper or the receiver, but yeah, enough of that is enough of that, and tell them you're going to start charging them for it, because there's no excuse for that these days anymore. There's just no excuse for it. So find out who you answer to and who pays your bills, and say, well, I'm charging for this.
Would you be going to California if the old trucks weren't banned and the emission trucks were allowed in there?
If the old trucks weren't,
Yeah, if we were,
if we could take
allowed
our
to-
trucks
Yeah, would you go for California or containers?
for containers,
Yeah, that's what he said.
yeah, I'd probably do that. I'd try that, depending on what it paid and
You
the
don't
price
look
of
cool,
fuel and
though.
everything. I know it doesn't look cool, but God,
It's-
think what it'd be worth to be back in a warm climate again. You wouldn't have to wear that hat.
Doesn't look. We get stainless containers.
No, I know there's no stainless containers, but it's still trucking. You just don't look in the mirrors.
Never did anyway.
Yes, exactly. So, I'd like to try pulling containers. I've never done it,
Yeah,
but I guess the waiting time is just stupid in the ports.
the container yards.
Yeah.
Not to mention all of your brother and truck drivers that frequent the container ports.
You know the time.
Grilled Mortal. I used to park my truck 12 feet from my bedroom, 70 feet of snow, not have to shovel. Yeah, because it kind of keeps the driveway clear, huh? Yeah, that's kind of cool. The old house we had, I used to park my whole truck and trailer like right behind the house, and when we moved to this place, there was no space big enough to get a truck in. So now my truck sits out at a little industrial yard where we had our warehouse.
He's at Skyjack in Guelph,
Oh yeah,
waiting to get unloaded for.
Oh,
5
really?
hours.
and
Yeah.
are you hauling directly for Skyjack? Because a lot of guys do. But you know what? I'd start whining to them.
Speed limiters in California.
Oh really? Well, a lot of the company trucks are governed, so those guys think of that as being speed limiters. But I'm trying to think how many guys we knew that have hauled that Skyjack stuff. How many of you? I can think of 3 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I guess it pays pretty well, but
I guess. Edward says you recently made a video suggesting against anyone buying a truck and going owner-operator in 2022, wondering what my opinion is on this. And Dave, what about 2023?
good question. So, in today's market, would you buy a truck and go trucking?
I would never buy a new truck
Yeah,
and go trucking.
yeah.
For what you got to pay for what you get. I think it's just a recipe to go bankrupt myself.
That's what I worry about these days. The insurance, the fuel.
Well, that too. The fuel is ridiculous and things like that. But the biggest thing about it is that the trucks are just not dependable. It does not take much downtime and a break to put you really behind the ball.
No, he doesn't say that it has to be a new truck, but would you even go into it in this day and age with your own truck?
Well, you see, my reasons wouldn't be business-wise like everybody else's would be. I'm, about money and making money, and
You don't have to worry about that.
yeah,
anymore.
I'm not. Mine's all about just enjoying myself anymore.
Yeah,
And you still got to make a living. Don't get me wrong, but that's.
I think
You have a different agenda.
I have a different agenda.
I
is
think the
what Kathy
question
said.
is, though-
exactly. Thank you.
what he's asking is as a business, would you think about entering it as an owner operator these days? I've said on this channel that in this climate I would not become a new owner operator.
I don't think I'd start.
It's all right for established guys.
Yeah, I mean, I know guys that are doing well at it. It depends on what they're doing, and they're doing okay, but it's not like making money like, say, we used to.
Like hand over
Yeah,
fist.
not
yeah.
that we ever made money hand over fist, but, it's just not the same. I don't know. If I wasn't where I'm at now, I don't think I would.
Yeah, and in California, they got this AB5 coming up where they're going to make lease operators and owner operators company guys,
Yeah.
and it's unsure how they're going to handle that. And that's why I said for 2022, I'd go with a really good company driving job
Yeah.
rather than
At least that way you don't have any responsibilities.
Yeah.
Really, and when they go broke, you get a paycheck normally. So,
yeah.
what's-
I'm just too leery of the market these days for owner operators.
yeah.
Captain Nice Guy says, forget Arizona, go to work for us making videos.
Kathy would pull her hair out every
We're
day.
already due.
She'd fire me and hire him full time. I'd be out of a job, not him.
What was Lettuce King's favorite thing to haul that isn't lettuce? God, I don't know about a favorite.
Truck parts.
Huh?
Truck parts.
Truck parts, yeah. Really, I mean, I've never hauled livestock. I've never hauled a tanker. I've done steel out the wazoo, flatbed work of all kinds, and oversized stuff. But I guess the oversized stuff would be my favorite, just because I like to sleep.
Here's a good question. What are your favorite trucking songs?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Oh, like actual trucking songs?
Trucking
Or
songs.
truck songs that I like to truck to.
No, trucking songs.
Wow, if you're talking trucking songs, you can't.
Red Solvine.
You can't beat Eastbound and Down. That's about as good as it gets for a trucking song.
Yeah,
Really,
I like 6 Days on the Road.
Yeah, and on the 7th day you drive into a bridge abutment. But it's I don't know. It's just
Is Bud the Spud real? I've never met him.
You're way
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Never hauled potatoes out of PEI. I don't know. Phantom 309 is Grilled Mortal's favorite trucking song. That was Red Sovine, wasn't it? Phantom 309. I'm pretty sure it was.
Hand bombing lettuce to fit in a 359 sleeper in a trailer. It was a cab
It was a cab, yeah.
and a set of sticks. The 6 and 4 I brought home in this.
That was in there too?
Yeah, on a different load.
Dave, what are your thoughts on starting as an owner-operator in the ag industry? Jordan, if you're in South Dakota and you're looking to haul ag products, that's a whole different ball game out there now. That's something I'm not really familiar with and have never done, but I think with the right connections out in South Dakota, hauling ag stuff, I think you might be all right there. And there were a lot of guys that hauled grain and stuff like that continue to do well to this day out there. And there's something I always wanted to haul and never got to, was a grain trailer. Like stupid hat. It was a belly dump grain trailer.
Yeah.
And some of those trailers were just beautiful.
Oh, I know Charlie Bates has got a really. Have you seen his setup?
No.
The A model Kenworth and the
No, I haven't.
pretty
Nice?
pretty nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Hamish K. Merry Christmas from the UK, Lettuce King. Thanks, Hamish. Hope you're well. Merry Christmas to you, sir. But yeah, some of those grain trailers, and even the big B train grain trailers that I used to see out west, some of those are just beautiful.
You get them in stainless.
Timpty Beal. Oh yeah, I just imagine. I've never seen one in stainless, but I bet you they'd be beautiful. Jordan says, "Driving My Life Away" by Eddie Rabbitt. I hadn't thought of that song for a while. Haven't heard that song for a while. What do you think about the new CDL rules for new drivers in the USA? Love your channel. Thank you, CU Rail Productions. I don't think, we've tried that up here in Ontario about having to go through the driving school and stuff. It turned out to be kind of a flop up here. I don't know.
I don't think they have enough rules to get a CDL for new
Yeah,
drivers.
I don't know. But do you think going through a driving school is going to help?
Can't hurt.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to work, but going with a guy who's got 3 months experience that's been driving for
Yeah,
Werner,
that's a joke.
and all of a sudden you're good to go.
That's a joke.
Is
That
not
should be
the way.
illegal.
You know, and school isn't necessarily the answer. You should be so many. It should be like an apprenticeship. where
That's right.
You get so many hours,
right.
documented hours, or flying an airplane,
Yeah.
documented hours behind the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, with somebody who's got more than 3 months experience,
Yeah.
and you know,
With these new regulations that are coming in February, they still don't mandate a minimum amount of required training hours behind the wheel, like actually driving the truck. And I think you can sit in the classroom for till the cows come home, but if you're not driving the truck, you're not really learning
and
it.
they're putting them in a truck that pretty much drives itself, automatic, this, that, everything else. You know, just
It's just going about it the whole wrong way. Wrong way. So yeah, you know, I don't know. It's politicians making the rules. And
Well-
politicians shouldn't be figuring out how to drive a truck.
no, it's all about who greases the wheel.
Yeah, it's
right?
all about
It's
the
all-
ATA
yeah,
and greasing
the
the
man
wheel.
who signs the paperwork is the guy
Yeah.
who got the paper or the paycheck. So
SoCal says novices training newbies is simply an idiotic concept. Truer words were never spoken.
So Captain Nice Guy says, so you wouldn't trust a new trainer from one of the mega carriers?
No. No, I would not.
And not a guy with 3 months experience that just got his license 3
Yeah,
months ago.
no, that's insane. Which is what SoCal's saying too.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't even know how they can come up with that. Why that should be legal.
Yeah.
It's insane.
No, Edward says the companies that do this should be held liable when things go wrong out on the highway. Amen.
Agreed.
To that.
Completely agreed. Yeah, it's an insane concept.
Yeah.
Hopefully this new stuff from Biden's bill will help, but I'm not holding any hope. Yeah, the Colorado incident is a prime example of what can go wrong. SoCal Sandman.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's just been horrendous. And you know, accidents like that go on a lot. It's just you don't hear about most of them. Like,
Well, that's as I said, the age of social media. If that thing hadn't blown up all over and been picked up all over the country, you know, it would have been nowhere near the big sensation it is.
SoCal or Captain Nice Guy says I was one of those trainers years ago. They promoted me way before I was ready.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to believe they do that, but they do it, and they do it all the time.
Here's a great question from Grilled Mortal. Why does a driver with 40 years of experience get hired as a guy with 3 years at the same pay? Exactly.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Yeah.
Without a good answer.
Yeah.
That is a good question, and that's why you don't see old guys sticking with it. They like to say that the older guys are retiring out of the industry, but basically we're just fed up, and
Yeah. Basically.
we're just fed up. Doesn't pay enough, and we found something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
In Dave's case, he definitely still needs something to do. Adam Yee with the $5 donation. Dave and the Lettuce King, thank you all so much for sharing all the knowledge. Hope to see you all next time. Adam, thank you very much for the 5.
Hey, Adam, thanks, man. Take care. Thanks for dropping in.
I think Nick was throwing a dig at you there.
I know. It never ends. I always wondered what the older generation of drivers thought, like you guys would say in the ending, your time as a rookie, I'm 5 years and still consider myself one. And that's an honest assessment, Christopher. Like, you don't know it all at 5 years. And there was this clown that used to be on YouTube. I haven't seen him recently, and he called himself a 7-year veteran.
7 years.
7 years. And I'd laugh right out loud. But he was pitching out advice to the new drivers on all sorts of stuff he had no idea about. And the honest truth of it is you can drive 40 years and still run into somebody that can teach you something.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It happens a lot.
the minute you think that you know it all,
Yeah. You never
you
know
always
it
learn
all.
something. Every day you learn something new.
Yeah.
You know, There's
So
always something different. Always something.
Grill Mortal says, yeah, fed up. Yeah, you understand it. You get it. But yeah, there's never a point in trucking where you know it all, because there's just too much to learn. But that was part of what I liked about it. Old timers don't want to make peanuts driving boat anchors all day. Yeah. Yeah. Ryan says, I've been out here 13 years, still don't know everything and won't know everything. JB Hunt is hiring people with no experience at all, but don't let them drive alone until they reach 150 hours with a trainer. JB Hunt is hiring people with no experience at all, but doesn't. Well, at least they're getting something.
Well, so they won't they're hiring people, but they won't let them drive the truck, period, until they've been in there for 150 hours.
Not even learn behind the wheel?
No, they're not letting them touch the wheel, from what I'm gathering. They won't let them drive at all. 150 hours. So what's that? 2-3 weeks
Yeah.
before you're able to start driving. Which, hey, sit there and watch. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I find that, I believe that at JB, but
Kelly Patterson says 18 years on the road, still learning. Yeah, it never ends, Kelly, and you know that now. By now, you figured that out. You can run into somebody the very next day that can point out something to you. And you go, you never thought of that, or you didn't know how that was done. It's a never-ending learning experience. Yeah, the day you stop learning is the day you die. Period. Captain Nice Guy. I agree. Are you guys brothers? No, but we should be. Shouldn't we? What do you feel is adequate behind the wheel training? Hours or months? Months, Edward. Months.
Yeah, I was going to say I drove for months with a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
months.
old guy with and I did it for free.
Yeah,
There was it wasn't always the best training,
yeah,
but it was real
yeah.
training.
Yeah.
It wasn't, he
Yeah.
taught me a lot of stuff you probably shouldn't, but
Yeah.
if it was still real world.
You weren't sitting in a cab unloading for 8 hours. You were actually out doing the work.
Yeah, it was, yeah, I won't tell you.
Yeah.
Kathy will get mad at me.
Then YouTube gets mad at me.
Yeah.
How many months? He's pressing us. It depends on the individual. Some guys pick it up more quickly than others.
And
but
some never do.
And some guys never do.
Yeah.
And some guys never do. But so how do you call this? Because not all guys.
Well, that's where your trainer that's got more than 3 months experience comes into play.
Yeah, he should
right?
be able to call it.
And then
for
he's
you.
got to call it and
Yeah.
be able to say this guy's qualified, not qualified, able, not able.
Yeah.
And then it's got to go from there. Maybe then if this guy says this guy's not any good,
Yeah.
he should move to another guy for a second opinion.
Yeah.
A carrier. They got to have more than one trainer.
Yeah.
If this guy can't train him, put him to this guy. See what he says.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron Burns says, see you all, gonna nap. And then wake up early and put the pre-trip on the loop. Wish me luck. Good luck, Aaron. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Thank you. There was something else I was just going to say there about that. Now I've lost it. But I saw, you look at YouTube and I saw on one of the YouTube channels the guy says, I tried my test 18 times and failed. And now he's all happy because he got his license. And my reaction is, if you failed 18 times, you shouldn't be driving a truck.
Yeah.
You should have given up after like number 3 try and
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm a dumb SOB. I'm not getting it. I better not endanger somebody else's
Yeah.
Why
life.
did they let him try that many times?
Yeah, why did they let him try that many times?
Probably because you'll keep paying.
Because you'll keep
It's all
paying.
about the money.
Exactly.
It's the
Yeah,
way of the world. Everything's all about
Yeah.
show me the money.
yeah. Training should include at least one full session of ice and mountain climbing. Kelly Patterson, I agree. And that's part of the reason this poor guy in Denver got in trouble a couple years ago. He'd clearly never been in the mountains before and clearly had never been trained.
Hamish K with the 25-month subs. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for that, Hamish. I had no idea you'd been a member that long. The Night Riders have some really awesome classic trucker songs, especially their 20 famous trucking songs. Definitely worth checking out the Night Riders. Thank you for the 25 months, Hamish.
Thanks, Hamish. I'll check those out. Appreciate that. The Night Riders. Heard of them?
No.
No, me either. But I'll have to dig them up.
Now, here's an interesting question. Lisa Marie. What can I do to prepare for getting my CDL if I'm not ready yet to go to trucking school? I'm a family member caretaker right now, but want to be over the road after he's gone.
Wow. We did a little video on how you can learn to back up a trailer. I don't know if you saw it, Lisa Marie. And you can hitch up your car to any trailer, like a boat trailer, anything. Try practicing backing up while you're just around the house with your car. Find a little trailer, practice backing it up. That's one of the hardest things to do when you go trucking.
As far as physical things, you know what I always say to people?
What?
You know, like that? When you're out driving around in your car every day, pickup truck, in town, become aware of your surroundings. You don't have to be driving a truck to know there's a car here, car there. Watch and be
aware of what stuff
know,
is, where it is.
And if people aren't blind, and I've preached this to other people, go, you know what, I watch, and I watch for trucks, and I watch for this, and I watch for, that's the biggest thing I say. You don't have to be training to get your CDL to become a better driver.
Yeah, that's really good. Stay focused on the
Sure.
drive, no matter what you're driving,
Yep.
and learn to pick up everything that's
Yep.
around you and be
Yep.
aware of it.
Don't move outside of your blinders. Watch your mirrors.
Yeah.
Always, you should know what's behind you all the time, what's beside you all the time. All
Exactly right. Excellent advice. What were the truck defects involved in that guy? Were there? And you know what? We don't know. We don't know exactly what the defects were. We know he lost his brakes. We don't know exactly why he lost his brakes.
But check out the video.
But check out the video that we've done on that.
Haven't done it.
Well, it's not out yet, but check it out when it comes out. Lisa Marie says she loves this channel. She's learning so much. But that was really good advice. Become aware of your surroundings and pay attention to the drive. Because everybody else is, if you're not focused on it, you're just looking around and not paying attention.
Or they
Excellent advice.
They zone out or whatever. It happens, but you should still know there was a car beside you a minute ago and it's not now.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Where's he gone?
And that's you should be. So.
Yeah, but check that stuff out, Lisa Marie. I think you'll find that helpful. SoCal said about being aware of your surroundings, a new concept for people who love to text and drive. There's one of the most dangerous damn things in the world, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't tell stories out of school, but this new guy that works at that lumberyard that I quit, and they all think he's the big hot stick, texts and drives. And as soon as I saw him doing that, I thought, I just dismissed him as being any sort of a good driver at all, just because he did that. But, they all thought he was greater than sliced bread. I thought he was...
They should make some sort of a technology that the vehicles block that.
They've got that technology.
But then how do you do it without the phone part?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you be on your Bluetooth and it's,
Yeah.
But the Lettuce King's favorite truck stop. Oh. There's a few of them. They'd have to say Iowa 80.
Yeah.
I used to like the Giant truck stop in Gallup.
Yeah, that's right.
God,
they ruined that. They turned that into a pilot and just wrecked it. Little America.
Yeah, Little America. I really wasn't a truck stop per se. It was a good stop and to stop there with your trucks, but it was there. But it wasn't like an Iowa 80 or
Joplin.
things like that. Joplin, you walk across the street and anywhere where there's a chrome shop near, I'm down.
I can't count the number of cars that go by me. I see them holding their phones in their laps, driving with one hand and texting. Kelly Patterson said that. Yeah, you see it all the time, and it's scary. And why haven't they found a better way to police that? Instead of picking on the truck drivers, why aren't they concentrating on the four-wheelers? Because four-wheelers statistically, they cause about 80% of the accidents.
Well, because there's no money in that.
Yeah, and you'd lose
You know,
votes if you mandated
exactly.
something.
It's just like the speed limiters. Why are the speed limiters on trucks and not on cars?
Yeah, yeah.
Truck
no.
drivers have no say, can't do anything about it. If everybody on their cars, there would be an uproar, and they'd all be out of a job. So,
Tim Field thinks we should start a trucking school.
well,
Lettuce King could teach you what to do and not to do to stay out of trouble.
we teach you how to go around all the scales.
That's not what it says.
Lettuce King teach them what to do after they did what not to do and not get in trouble.
Dave teaches them what and what not to do, and the Lettuce King teaches them what to do after they did
I
what
think, yeah.
you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
We get the idea.
Yeah, we got it. Lisa says she's going to get a small trailer. Just borrow one from the neighbors, Lisa. Any trailer will
Roll
do.
your chat up, you're big and
What is the worst model of truck you have driven, Dave?
Probably the old conventional Ford LTL that I drove for like a week at Motorways. It was such a piece of crap I quit. But probably that old, what did they call those an LTL? We were talking about those earlier.
The Fords, yeah.
The 9000.
Yeah.
And it had a hood, but it was just, it was a Motorways truck.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was, I did not last. You? Worst one?
I hate to admit it. The worst truck I've drove, and it wasn't that long ago, was a Volvo with a hood, like when they still tried to make them look like they had a hood, but it was old, like 85, 86.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they got one with a boom truck on it, and it's just plastic and horrible and terrible. But on the other note, we have a newer Western Star that is just terrible to drive as far as from a driver's standpoint.
Yeah.
It's hard to steer, clutch is hard to push. It's very uncomfortable to drive in,
Really?
Yeah. So, but everybody's
Dave, what
different.
about that truck that didn't have a gas gauge? I drove a cab over Freightliner for Trimac back in the day. And back in the day, Trimac was so sucking cheap that they didn't put fuel gauges in their company trucks. And you had to dip them with a stick. There's a memory I just as soon forget. But yeah, it was a cab and rubber block suspension. Just terrible trucks. But part of the reason they were terrible trucks was because Trimac was so damn cheap.
Jeff says it's crazy that everybody forgets that Chevy, Dodge, and Ford made semi-trucks. I just seen a Dodge Longhorn
No kidding.
a couple of days ago.
Really?
Yeah. So.
I never drove one of those. They were
No.
cool looking trucks, so
I
they had a
never
hood
drove
on them.
No, but I've drove the other two. I've drove a General and an LTL Ford. So.
Yeah, I never drove a General.
Yeah.
But do you remember the cab over Fords that?
Yeah, the big
That would
seals,
lean?
seals.
Yeah.
They had 4-corner airbags.
Yeah,
and
you'd go to
always-
climb in it, and the whole
Yeah.
thing felt like it was
Yeah.
falling over on you.
Yeah.
There was a guy at Atlantis, Gary Smith had one of those, and it was a pretty nice
Yeah.
damn truck.
Yeah.
What about those fancy international LTs and the Pro Stars with the Max Force?
Oof. Don't get me going.
Edward, International made a really good truck back in the day, but the last few, and the Max Force engine, yeah, but it's too bad. And Volkswagen bought International out, right? I think that's who bought International.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Well, yeah, I think
But-
it's Volkswagen.
Is it?
But I think International was on its last legs anyway.
Yeah. Ask Wendell how he likes his Max Force motors.
Does he have those?
Well, he did. They pretty much bankrupted them. Every one of them, they were blowing up and this and that. And he's buying all old stuff now.
Thunderstorm 87, what's your favorite trucking movie, Lettuce King?
Favorite trucking movie? Well, again, you know, I'm pretty mainstream. You can't go wrong with Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Smokey the Bandit.
Convoy was good, and White Line Fever, and they were all good movies, but they're still not as good as Smokey and the Bandit. Eh?
Black Dog.
The black dog.
Yeah,
Patrick Swayze with the driving gloves. With
Hold
no
on, I got to
fingers.
get in a page 4 to talk about Patrick Swayze.
SoCal says, "Do I mean the Lone Stars? The Lone Stars were the ones that look like Batmobiles,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, those goofy looking.
I
things.
meant, God, the ones earlier than that. Like, think back some, like the
You're
like the
talking
old
like the
Trans-Stars.
like
Yeah,
Eagles.
those were the
40
Eagles.
4300s
Those
or
were
whatever they
those
were.
were
so-
nice trucks. Those were good trucks. Those are the ones. I never cared for the Lone Stars, SoCal.
All right, chat. Well, after all this time, it's about that time of day where we start wrapping things up now. I guess we'll leave off with a few final thoughts from the boys, and if you want to get any last-minute questions in chat before we lose the Lettuce King for, well, God knows how long now, make sure you're getting that in the chat and get some of those read off, and we'll sign off for the evening.
Final thoughts.
What's one of your favorite memories from your running the coast? No.
Favorite memories. Oh man,
They were good times.
it was always a good time because that's why I did it.
Yeah.
You know, I did it for the good time. It was always a good time with me. I mean, think of some of the stupid crap we used to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh.
God, I don't know. I can't give you one.
Oh, no, it'd be too hard to choose.
Because everything's got some sort of a thing to it that's it's really hard to explain it without.
Yeah, it's some of those.
You know.
Some of those you had to be there for them, but
You know.
We do have one from Jake Cobb. What brand of truck do you feel is underrated?
Underrated.
underrated.
Wonderful Dave's mind. Takes a lot of thought.
You know, I'm very predictable. I think anything but a Peterbilt suck. So that's just me. You know, kill me.
I was going to
You know?
say some of the Western Stars, and I know you've had a bad experience recently in a new Western Star, but I still kind of like Western Star.
Do you? See,
Yeah.
I don't usually get onto it because I don't like to offend people. Everybody has their, you know me. I'm politically correct. But
Jesse says this was a great chat. Love listening to the old school guys. Have a great night. Merry Christmas and keep the rubber side down. Jesse, same to you, man. Thanks for tuning in. We've enjoyed this very much.
Wow.
Thank you for listening.
Okay.
That seems to be the general consensus from chat now, that it's been a fun, eventful, insightful, a little bit dirty evening.
Aw.
So chat, if you enjoyed having the Lettuce King on, be sure to let us know, obviously, on our YouTube comments, our emails, all that good stuff. Lettuce King, any final thoughts you want to throw out there before we sign off for some time?
no, not really. I mean, you know, other than, you know, it's been a slice to come up and see everybody and see how the magic happens here at Smart Trucking.
Yeah,
the
magical
The
it is.
behind the scenes, yeah, you know, I'm surprised that Dave could be spared of something this high tech. You know, now I see
Oh.
because Nick's.
You see the master behind the
Yeah,
strings now, so
Yeah.
Yes, I remember Dave trying to work a fax machine once, and that was kind of funny.
the fax
So,
machine
yeah.
worked him. So
Yeah, even those were a challenge
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when that first came out?
Faxing?
You had to send your paperwork to the border, and you know.
Oh, yeah, I hated that.
And the girl says, "Oh, you can just fax it." You what?
Yeah.
you fax it. You put it in a machine. It comes out. Come on.
In
Really?
in fact, you had to do it that way.
I'm gonna
eh?
put a
We-
piece of paper in this machine. It's gonna come out on your end.
We
Get
were-
out of here.
Read Kelly Patterson.
Oh, sorry.
Here's okay. This chat is kind of like Gilligan's Island. We went out for a 3-hour tour.
And we're never coming back.
Captain Nice Guy, how many beans or bombs is the Lettuce King worth? I don't know if you were here for that live stream, but we had a
Oh.
little bit of a distinction between beans and bombs, and well, it's not the most
got ugly.
It got out of hand.
it's not the most sanitary topic in the world, but if I had to put it into numbers, how many, and when we're talking bombs, we're talking money.
Yeah.
How much do you think the Lettuce King is worth? How many bombs?
Ooh.
That's
Oh,
from Captain Nice Guy.
Guys, are we counting like liquid?
You
Are we talking? the
You
whole
can
thing?
exaggerate. You can underestimate.
Oh, you
It's-
know what? You can't you'll test it. I'm a very week to week kind of guy.
Day to day.
That's it, man. You know, I live life day to day because you could drop dead tomorrow. So, you know, I enjoy myself.
One
Well,
day
the-
at a time.
Exactly, right? You know, and I get it and I spend it, whether it's on whatever. So, you know, I got a lot of cool shit though, but I'm not worth a big fortune. Maybe I don't know. Counting my house is paid for. Maybe $1 million, maybe.
Don't put it too high. You don't want the IRS coming.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. Page two.
SoCal
Yeah,
says
page
don't.
two.
Yeah.
SoCal says don't forget the flip phone. He's
Oh yeah, you know what? I had
remembering
the
that, yeah.
phone with the walkie-talkie in it. Remember that one?
yes. I
Beep.
still got mine.
Do you really?
Nobody else
How come you
beeps on
don't
the
ever
other end.
answer me when I beep you?
You still got yours?
Probably somewhere.
Yeah, I still got
I
mine.
usually hide most of my phones because they're so incriminating.
I really like my flip phone, but I ran it through the washing machine there about a year or so ago and ended up having to get a new phone.
No, that's
Broke my heart. Oh, there's another demerit.
Yeah.
SoCal. Anyway, we better wrap it up. I sure have enjoyed that. I've enjoyed having you here, Lettuce King, joining us.
Always a slice.
I don't know about that hat, but anyway, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Everyone have a safe night. Drive safe. Keep the rubber side down,
Both sticks to the dash.
and we'll see you on the back haul. Good night, everybody.
Have a Merry Christmas, chat. We'll see you next week, same time.
Merry Christmas.